Hello and welcome to our English news coming to you from Canal Algérie. First, the top stories of the news. An unprecedented escalation in Gaza, claiming more victims among displaced Palestinians, while Algeria reiterates its support and solidarity via medical care provided to Palestinian wounded. More setbacks for the French far right, plunging the country into a serious crisis marked by inflation and the growing social turmoil. Slim hopes for return to normal in Mali as the military junta is lacking legitimacy and driving the country into a serious chaos. Welcome back to our news. The War Veterans Minister Al-Aid Rabiga was in Hammam al-Biban Rest and Recreation Center to inquire about the medical care of the wounded Palestinian transferred there for convalescence. In a statement to the press, Al-Aid Rabiga indicated that this visit comes in line with the guidelines of the President of the Republic meant to ensure a better medical follow-up for the Palestinians wounded. Some of them were honored during this visit paid by the War Veterans Minister.
بين أول نوفمبر 54 فالمواقف التي شرفت الجزائر وشرفت كل أحرار العالم في الوقوف مع فلسطين.
In the meantime, the Palestinians keep struggling for survival amid constant bombings targeting civilians and displaced people in Gaza Strip. Real genocide being committed in the broad daylight of the international community. More details with our correspondent in Gaza, Wissam Abu Zaid. These are unbearable images, testimonies to a hard, painful reality. The charred remains of children, women and the elderly in the Gaza Strip. No one was spared in the Zionist strikes on the Al-Mawasi neighborhood west of Khan Yunis. Another attack claimed dozens of lives and left many more wounded. We were sleeping when the missiles hit our neighborhood. Many were killed and burned. One disabled individual was burned alive while still sitting on his wheelchair. Once again, Palestinians bid farewell to another convoy of martyrs in an atmosphere heavy with sorrow and sadness. Among the victims were 50 children and displaced families who had sought refuge only to be burned alive where they thought they would be safe. Gaza mourns its dead and awaits the worst. What remains is the crushing silence of survivors burying loved ones without tears because pain has become a constant companion. And from the Middle East to Europe, in France's growing political tension, the far right faces setbacks as shock rhetoric grows louder. Meanwhile, real issues like inflation, strained public services and social unrest mount. Yes, the focus remains elsewhere, with some prioritizing power over the daily struggles of the French people. Dalal Boutaba and Manal Maafa with more details.
As Bruno Otayo's sons, the political ladder, bolstered by those who reinforce his ambiguous stance, France is being drawn into a deepening crisis. The Interior Minister's handling of the situation raises pressing questions about the government's commitment to public interest.
J'ai bien entendu le ministre de l'Intérieur qui a indiqué que toutes les polémiques.
The Interior Minister claims his controversies were useful, maybe for a party leadership bid, but not for France. A minister's role isn't to stir debate, it is to deliver solutions.
Mais je ne crois pas que la vocation d'un ministre soit de lancer des polémiques. Et je crois qu'un ministre a vocation, dans son portefeuille, à apporter des réponses.
An obsessive focus on Algeria has increasingly filled the public discourse, serving as a convenient distraction from the pressing economic and political changes France can no longer deny. The warning drumbeat of the financial crisis grows louder, yet it echoes unanswered.
Monsieur le ministre de l'Intérieur, vous qui vous êtes visiblement trompé de ministère puisque vous ne parlez que de l'extérieur et surtout de l'Algérie.
Mr. Minister, you focus more on Algeria than on France, serving your own interests. Retailleau is sacrificing himself for his Congress, not for the country. How can you defend France by trampling on its laws and values? Your government fails to honor our history, and it is not Algeria that is attacking us. It is you when you glorify colonization.
Monsieur le Premier ministre, c'est vous qui agressez la France lorsque les autres osent parler des belles heures de la colonisation.
This downward spiral unfolds within a broader context, where power-hungry contenders have launched a full-blown political trench war, a fierce battle that began long before its time, marked by the ruthless dismantling of alliances and diplomatic ties.
To Africa now, the Malian junta is not delivering on its fake promises. The country is at standstill with no solutions in the horizon, only growing issues and popular turmoil against the authoritarian rule of the country. Story by Leticia Sadqawi.
Restoring democracy in Mali seems like a dream far from being reached for Malians, as the military junta that took control by force continues to sow division, eroding public trust.
The transitional charter states that anyone who rules in the elections must resign from the army and from the presidency. Normally, President Assimi Goïta should have stepped down on January 15th, and unfortunately, President Goïta has changed his stance. He now says he will not resign. However, the law states that transitional charter requires him to do so. 3 years after the coup, Goïta remains the head of the transition.
3 years after Assimi Goïta's coup, the transitional government, devoid of democratic legitimacy, appears increasingly willing to do whatever it takes to remain in power, even if it means serving external interests. Mali now faces a precarious future with broader implications for regional stability.
Things are heating between politicians and the President Assimi Goïta. They have decided to break their silence. More than 180 political parties have stood up and sworn not to back down. We will not be manipulated. No one in Mali will contradict this.
Plus reculer. On ne va jamais nous manipuler encore. Ce que je vais dire, il n'y a personne au Mali qui va me contredire.
Que l'Algérie reste un acteur important pour toutes les questions du nord de notre pays. Je vous donne juste un exemple pratique. L'Algérie a fermé ses frontières depuis quelques jours et le prix du litre de carburant.
It took this situation for us, the Ivorians, to be informed that Algeria is giving you fuel. When you shouted on the roofs, the Algerians wanted your fuel when this is reality.
Vous avez crié ici sur tous les toits que les Algériens voulaient votre carburant. Vous avez crié sur tous les toits ici que les Algériens voulaient votre carburant.
As a result of the authoritarianism rule and the restriction of freedoms, popular turmoil is growing. Algeria is the only country in the world that gives students scholarships. Housing is ensured, restoration as well. It's the only country where the poor can study without worrying about anything.
Un enfant de pauvre peut venir étudier sans se soucier de quoi que ce soit.
Moi, j'ai vécu en Algérie à Magnia.
I lived in Algeria, in Marnia. It's a few kilometers from the border of Oujda, Morocco. I was there with my boss. He worked in real estate. He was an engineer. I was on the construction site with my nephew, and it's someone who, frankly, did a lot for me. Indeed, in Mali, the situation is extremely fragile, with national unity and territorial integrity threatened. The ruling military junta is unable to reduce the risks posed by terrorist groups and criminal networks. Partners are drifting apart. Aid is reduced, and sanctions are having a heavy impact on an already fragile economy.
You're still watching Canal Algérie. Coming up in our news. The Congress of Saqiya al-Hamra and Wadi Dhahab Workers General Union kicks off reaffirming the right of the Sahara people to self-determination. Welcome back to our news. Under the motto Sahrawi workers, loyalty and commitment on the path of martyrs, the 10th Congress of the General Union of the Workers of the Saqi al-Hamra and Wadi Dhahab kicked off this Friday in the Sahrawi refugee camps. The event, attended by the Sahara President Brahim Ghali, brought together over 400 delegates representing Sahrawi workers along with international solidarity delegations. The Congress served as a key moment to showcase the Union's experience in balancing resistance to occupation with the ongoing work of nation building. In his speech, Brahim Ghali stated that this Congress comes in the wake of the recent UN Security Council meeting, during which the Polisario Front reaffirmed its firm position on the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination. The Makhzen is no longer bothering to hide its complicity with certain foreign powers. The regime weaves its networks and leans on the well-placed external praxis and indulges in a sphere of influence that exceeds its borders, a strategy that primarily serves foreign interests. Yasmin Masoudi and Leticia Sidqawi with more details.
Seeking greater power and influence, Morocco has formed alliance with foreign powers, positioning itself as a pawn in a broader geopolitical game that exceeds its control. Rabat's reliance on external partnership has come at the cost of regional stability, its participation in continuous international ventures, and its opportunistic diplomatic moves suggest a strategy shaped by outside agendas, where regional and collective interests are largely neglected. Morocco, a country that has historically been a friend, with whom we have long-standing ties and shared interests, and which has acted as our eyes and ears in the region. Today, Morocco is behaving like a traitor. It's a traitor country. Morocco is acting in the name of a geopolitical project known as Greater Morocco. This project follows a different logic and ambition. Under this vision, Moroccans claim that historically the entire mountainous region belongs to them, and perhaps even the area of the Polisario Front, the Western Sahara. They claim it as their territory. Morocco is pursuing a policy of conquest. Certain practices tell a lot about the Makhzen's method. Attempts to influence public positions on sensitive subjects through exchanges of silence for advantages have been reported by well-informed sources. This method of operation, aimed at stifling critical voices, reveals a system based on concealment and manipulation. I know from experience that Moroccans tend to buy people. That's it, they pay for it. I'll say it clearly when I tell you that Morocco has and is trying to win people over. One day, I found myself face-to-face with one of your colleagues, calling himself a Moroccan journalist, approaching me through various companies. Until the day he said to me, "Pierre, I am here to bring you a message from our government. We're not asking you to change your position on the Saharan issue. We know you and know that you are an honest man. You won't change your mind, so we're simply asking you to stay quiet. Tell us how much Algeria pays you and we'll double it." I said 0 plus 0 equals 0, and the door is over there. I kicked him out and I never saw him again. He was an envoy from the Moroccan government. Morocco has been doing this for years. Beyond borders, the Makhzen pursues a strategy of expansion, marked by the defensive interests are not its own. Under the cover of cooperation, its mechanisms of influence that are being put in place introduce divisions where African states are working toward common solutions. Another element that you shouldn't ignore is that a good part of the Zionist elite comes from Morocco, and the Zionist elite is involved in colonial conquest projects in Africa under Sarkozy's name. People spoke to you about the ties between Morocco and many colonial projects in Côte d'Ivoire, Senegal, even Cameroon. You have the clearest example, the famous Attijari Wafa Bank. The Attijari Wafa Group is the creation of the Zionist elite in Morocco, linked to Rothschild because the bank's capital is domiciled and largely French. Moroccan Zionism in the service of global Western Zionism, which continues in the Kingdom of Morocco. So Moroccans are kind of army for global Zionism. Rabat positions itself as a destabilizing force, spreading imported agendas that block autonomous initiatives and harms African dynamics.
Back to Algeria to delve into the realm of sport. AS City progressed to the fourth slot of the National Football Championship after beating MC Oran with 1-0 as part of the 23rd week. The sole goal was scored by Jahnit. In other results, NC Magra defeated GS Sahara with 2-0, while a 2-all draw marked the game between US Khanshle and Parado AC. Let's now follow the highlights of the game between AS Sétif and MC Oran.
عودة بهدف قد يكون ثمين. سجل الهدف الأول مرة تحت الحارس عكون الذي تابعها، ولكن المتابعة لم تكن موفقة. خلاص انتهت المباراة، خلاص انتهت المباراة. كريم عريبي لم يرمي نفسه، لم يبحث عن الكرة.
And the last story takes us to Geneva, where the wives of our diplomats showcased Algeria's traditional jewelry at the Palais des Nations. The exhibition was praised by the diplomatic community and the Women's Guild, celebrating Algerian craftsmanship. Report by our correspondent Mafa Belouchet and commentary by Menal Mafa.
At the Palais des Nations in Geneva, Algerian jewelry lit up the UN halls for a morning. Organized by the wives of the ambassador and consul general, the event gathered diplomats and UN Women's Guild members. The focus was on sharing ancient craftsmanship, with each piece telling a story of Algeria's history. Through our eyes, it is a unique treasure, and we are truly impressed by the variety of these jewelries. As a tourist guide in Egypt with a deep passion for the history of Egyptian jewelry, I have a lot of information about Algeria's magnificent and rich heritage. This event offers a greater opportunity to explore the cultural richness of this magnificent country. Beyond the exquisite jewelry and finely crafted stones, it was a whole culture on display, from the richness of the cuisine to literary storytelling. With the warm hospitality of the organizers, it was a true journey through Algeria, experienced through all the senses. It is a very positive event. It is a great opportunity to discover Algeria and its rich traditions. I am very happy. Until now, I hadn't had the opportunity to visit Algeria, but with this event, I was able to experience it, and it was truly wonderful. It was a moment of sharing, praised by all, including the president of the UN Women's Circle in Geneva, who was moved by the generosity of this gathering. Everything was wonderful. The food was great. We were really spoiled. We all discovered the variety and richness of Algerian traditions. I enjoyed every moment of it. Between silver gleams and fragrant spices, Algeria told this story in a new light, a morning filled with smiles and discoveries, where tradition wasn't a static display, but a bridge between the two.
And with the Algerian jewels shining in Geneva, we come to the end of our news bulletin. Tomorrow, another day, other news. Keep tuning to our channel. Take care and bye-bye for now.